Irish Bar. Who do you think's going to be here later? You have a lot of Notre Dame fans are going to be here. They're taking on Northeastern, so this is kicking it off. The clock is ticking before you have to make those final changes to your brackets. You can do your little racing marks until then. But Mike Greco is joining us back again. Thank you for coming back. So from the Daily National. Now, we talked about this a little bit before last time. The matchup. Will there be a bracket breaker? We're talking Notre Dame, Northeastern. What's your take?
I don't know if there's going to be a bracket breaker in this first game, but I think looking ahead to who's going to play Kentucky, that's where the bracket breaker may come in. Everyone filling out those brackets probably has Kentucky going all the way. But if Notre Dame catches a hot streak, they've got Wichita State also in that bracket, a 7th seed. They played Kentucky really well last year. So I think Notre Dame or Wichita State could have an opportunity to knock off Kentucky. Kentucky's going to be hard to beat, but you know, all eyes on this very first game. All eyes in this place are going to be on that first game.
12 o'clock. So let's talk about upsets. Start with the local team, St. John's.
St. John's, they have a really good opportunity against San Diego State. Two different styles of play. San Diego State really locked down D. St. John's really focuses on their offense. The winner of this game, though, loses in a way because in the next round they're playing Duke. Duke would be an overwhelming favorite, whoever they play. But from a local angle and Steve Lavin and the St. John's program, this is really an opportunity for them to get into the national spotlight again.
Now, you mentioned Wichita State. What about Kansas versus Wichita State?
Now, that's where an upset could come in. Kansas, a number 2 seed, a traditional powerhouse of a program, but they're a pretty weak number 2 seed when you see the difference between a Kentucky and a number 1 in that region and Kansas. It's a big gap. That's why I think Wichita State or Notre Dame can knock them off.
Okay, and then everybody talking Duke, Kentucky.
That's the matchup that everyone probably has in their brackets that TV viewers want to see, and that's what really everyone wants to see. That would be a historic matchup. John Calipari in Kentucky, the legend Mike Krzyzewski at Duke. That would be one that everyone wants to see, and I think that's what everyone will see. I think that's going to be the final, and I think Kentucky is going to come out on top. I think 40-0. I think it's almost inevitable at this point.
That's the one you got to go with.
That's where you got to go.
All right, so let's talk Obama. President Obama made his picks yesterday. He's had a pretty good record so far. Okay, so his picks, he went with Kentucky versus Villanova. He picked Kentucky. So what do you think compared to how you went about this?
So he went Kentucky, Arizona, Villanova, and Duke. He went a little bit, with the higher seeds, 3 number 1s and a number 2. I think you could put in Northern Iowa instead of Villanova in that seed if you want to have a little fun with your bracket. President Obama probably has a few other things to worry about, but that's a pretty solid bracket. But if you're a viewer at home and you're doing your office bracket, have a little fun with it. Hey, you know what? If you don't think Kentucky's going to go all the way, throw in a Wichita State, throw in a Northern Iowa. Hey, if you don't like Duke and you want to root against them, Iowa State is a good pick in that bracket as well. So have a little fun with your bracket.
Iowa State, all right. That's a little secret there. I love that. All right, Mike Greco, thank you for coming out, guys. Of course, don't forget, 12 o'clock. That's when the game is, so tune in for that. Everybody in their office is going to be doing that, too, on their phones. We'll send it back to you guys.
We got a lot of people that are fans of Duke University. I was the only one that's like, no, Duke. I'd always go Villanova.
Wait, so who do you have winning it? Villanova?
I don't want to say Kentucky. I really don't. But you know what? Look at their season, Dan. Look at their season, Corey. Whatever.